A new report suggests Black girls and women continue to be underrepresented in BC's tech sector. Here to discuss the report and some of the lived experiences is student Eden-Belle O'Neill and the executive director of the Black Women Business Network, Pasima Sule. Ladies, thank you so much for taking the time today. Pasima, I want to start with you. What are some of the systemic barriers identified in the report, and what needs to be done to break those barriers?
Thank you very much. So based on the report that we've done, what we've seen is that there are systemic barriers from pre-K all the way to the tech entrepreneurship system. So there are barriers. So for example, in the pre-K sector, some barriers that we're seeing are that in the classroom environment, there are some racist and negative attitudes that make Black girls that are currently enrolled in the STEM clubs feel isolated and alienated, even within the STEM clubs. And also in the workforce, what we're seeing is that the hiring practices within the sectors sometimes does not encourage Black girls to join the sector. And also the fact that there is underrepresentation in the sectors, they don't see themselves in the sectors, so they don't feel encouraged, to join the sector. And in the tech entrepreneurship, the Black girls don't have the social capital or the social network that they need to become investors in these sectors. So we're seeing barriers across the sector, and the term, that has come out of the report based on this is we're calling that the leaky tech pipe. So the barriers across the entire ecosystem.
Eden-Belle, can you talk to us about your experiences? What drew you into science and tech, and how difficult of a journey has it been to learn and excel?
Yeah, so my experience in high school specifically has actually been incredible due to organizations such as, BWB and Ethos Lab. However, prior to finding those organizations, I was often the only Black kid in the school or in the class or club, often the only person of color. What drew me into that was curiosity, and also my mom, who helped me navigate those kind of roadblocks.
Pasima, back to you. You recently held an event to discuss both the challenges and opportunities. Did you leave it feeling more optimistic about the future for Black students?
Absolutely, absolutely. I was very optimistic. We had representatives from companies in the tech sector. So we've had also, prior to that event, we had workshops with them, and they're hearing what we're saying. They're hearing the barriers that we're raising, and they're willing to collaborate with us. And one of the things that left me quite hopeful after the event was the number of Black girls that were there, and they also heard these barriers and the curiosity that the event generated, the curiosity about them, venturing into the tech sector, and some of the mystery that we break down concerning the tech sector. So I'm very, very hopeful. I think if we continue to have more of such events, more of such networking events where we bring together the Black community and the tech community and share the various experiences, I think there will be a further awareness, and many Black girls in the community will be interested to venture into the sector. So yes, I'm hopeful.
And Eden-Belle, I know you mentioned the Ethos Lab, which aims to create a culture shift in science, tech, engineering, and math. What more do you feel needs to be done to improve diversity in science and tech space? And do you think more of these types of inclusive spaces is the way of the future?
Yeah, for sure. I think what needs to happen is that we get more funding for these groups, so people can actually participate, and also advertising, so there's awareness about these clubs. So I actually absolutely think that they're the way of the future.
All right, ladies, thank you so much. That is Pasima Sule and Eden-Belle. Thank you for sharing.